Have we ever had anybody that we outright just offended, or that it seemed that way with our?
I felt like Kat, the live streamer, never kind of
that was the most glaring example. Unless you guys are thinking of ones way back in the day before I was around, but that's the best one I can think of.
Yeah, she didn't seem to get it, I guess.
Yeah, she.
Fair enough. Although
it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Although we didn't really get her and what she was up to either. So
Yeah, they definitely didn't like the like she's a successful live streamer, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing with your?
Oh man, I invest my money into the strangest things. That's why I said like co-owning a printing thing is probably the smartest investment with that. Another thing I did.
Money? The printing thing?
Oh, it's insane. We got a building off the freeway, so we have very good advertisements. And the biggest thing is car wraps, because they're very expensive to take care of cars. And like we do color changes for Toyota. We have clients too around here that are like Toyota and stuff that help pay off the bills. But when I won the $100,000 like 4 years ago, I invested it into a massive RC track for remote control 10 scale cars. And I made like 150 foot by 80 foot big. Bought a bobcat because of course I can't move the dirt myself.
Right.
So I bought a bobcat to not the but like the earth movers.
I'm well familiar with the bobcat.
Oh, not the feline. All right.
No, not the feline. No, they don't really do well when it comes to dirt. So yeah, I dug. It was me and my dad and an RC expert that came together, and we dug it 10 feet deep. We had a 40-foot driver stand. We all built. And it had elevation changes because so it's like a big dome, like a big bowl.
So you won $100,000 and you invested it into RC car racing.
Yeah.
Did that work out?
Is that the answer?
It was a lot of fun.
It was for fun. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to me investing, this is why I'm very fortunate to have gaming.
Was there any return on this RC track?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, depends on what you want in return. If you're looking
money,
no. But there was.
Do you still maintain the track?
No, it's definitely got a few weeds on it, but it would only take a day. You just take a day. You could go out there, and because over winter, it gets. I live here in the high desert. We're about 3,000 feet above sea level, so we get high winds. I'm still in Southern California, so we do get the nice weather, but we do get like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, which has gotten me also into stunt kites. So I'm like very much a hobby enthusiast, and I'm all over the place when it comes to that.
So do you have a lot of stunt kite investments as well?
Yeah, I have like a $120 kite that's like.
I used to have. What does a stunt kite entail? What kind of stunts do these kites do?
They're actually they do have competitions for stunt kites as well, but yeah, here, I'm going to actually link you guys to a photo of my track that I was just talking about. We did host races there. Like, we did have a bunch of people, local people that would come around. As you can see, there's about, like, I don't know, maybe 7 guys standing there with, like, first to third place plaques and printing out the lap times. We had transponders that go on the cars to give you lap times.
This track is amazing. I wish somebody would invest in shit I like.
Yeah, that looks like Mario Kart level fun.
Oh, they do have that. Like, I always wanted to find a way. Same thing with paintballing. I'm like, okay, gaming and doing my hobby. Like, I always try to find ways of bringing them together. So, like, when it came to paintballing, I'm like, somebody needs to recreate maps from, like, Call of Duty. So you can run around on the same maps and play paintball. And the same thing with, like, RC. The best thing you can come up with for Mario Kart and RC is you put a needle on the front of your car, and you have balloons on the back of the other cars, and you have to go and try and pop the other people's balloons. But the only Mario Kart I could find within that.
So, Kat, have you turned your fame into any investments that do work? Or is it all stunt kites and RC car?
Aside from the printing thing, not necessarily.
You can't tell people that you're investing like hundreds of thousands of dollars in RC cars and like cotton candy machines and expect them to be like, wow, that's prudent. Like,
well, I really like slushies, so I sunk about 80 grand into slushy technology. I love it. I got all the flavors.
It pushes the ice through fine filaments, a whole other texture. You've never experienced it.
If you guys maybe didn't see that one, for people who are watching, she's a successful live streamer. She's killing it. I don't mean to throw too many stones at her. And I asked her what she was doing, like how she was setting herself up for the future. And God, I don't mean to haze her, but is she in her upper 20s? Something
mid
like that.
Or up, I don't know.
All right, 25. People are guessing. So I just thought like, oh, you know, the whole like show your cleavage on Twitch streams thing. You know, she's at the peak of her career right now. Well, what she did is she invested in a remote-controlled car racetrack, which is like
in her backyard,
almost like if you've ever seen BMX racing on ESPN, something like that. And she bought a
but
skid steer, which is, if you don't know what a skid steer is, it's like a bobcat. You know, that's one variety of one, and they could use that to like maintain the track and rebuild the hills.
And real quick interjection into that, like when I was asking her initially about like, oh, what are you doing with this like RC car stuff and this weird stuff? Like it wasn't even meant to be like let's catch her in a web here. It was like wow, how did you manage to make this a profitable thing?
Yeah.
Like I think we all came from there asking like, how the fuck are you doing this?
I was like, oh, I bet she found some niche market. I bet she's got like 35 kids coming to her house every weekend, plunking down $100 worth of battery time or whatever to race, or she's putting on RC events at her house and clearing $2,500 a week or something. But no, she just likes RC cars and it's in her backyard.
It's just like Cartman Land.
I think the real mistake there wasn't that she built the RC track. What was that, Taylor?
I said it was like Cartman Land.
It was a little bit like Cartman Land. I think the real mistake wasn't that she got herself an RC track. It was that she listed that among her
business ventures.
Yeah. See,
because if you ask me about one of my business ventures, I wouldn't be like, well, I've got a $40,000 sports car out in the yard. like I wouldn't list that as one of my business ventures. You know what I mean?
Like if anything, that should be impressive. Like she could have listed her business ventures and then been like, oh, and I also have a $200,000 racetrack basically in my backyard. Like if you just framed it like that instead of like she framed it like it was supposed to be a business.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little different. Still, I mean, who wouldn't want that? If I had that, I would use it every day. A giant RC track in my backyard that you could ride around on.
My wife wants me to build her a miniature golf course.
No, it's RC cars.
Oh, you're not even in the cars.
No, it's remote-controlled little cars that you race. You thought this was much cooler than it actually is. Now you you thought she was in a car?
I thought this was more of a go-kart situation. Oh,
remote control toy cars, like souped up ones, I'm sure, but nonetheless.
Maybe help out some of those one-legged dogs. Strap them on her surplus of RC cars. You got a problem fixer.
Get those two.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
That's right, fat boy.